Since we've solved that dilemma, I'd like to raise another issue. I'm on the first now, therefore, parens 1. And it says by publishing announcements, we're going to notify the members of the resignation by publishing announcements in the Lake Holiday newsletter, announcing on the official LLC website, and by mailing solicitation for candidates to all assessment members. I think the mailing is overkill, and I would suggest, and it's expensive, and I would suggest we strike that as a requirement. If a potential member neither reads the newsletter nor the website, he or she is probably not a very good candidate for a board member anyway. So I see no need to incur the costs of mailing please join us letters to everybody.
Well, you know we mailed.
I know we did.
We mailed postcards.
Well, yes.
Which are relatively inexpensive, require no stuffing, no manual stamping, etc. So it wasn't very expensive. I would maintain there's nothing more important that this association does than elect board members. This is the most important event that happens, whether we do it at an annual meeting or we do it as a replacement by the board. And I believe we need to go extra measures to ensure that as many people, as many members of the association understand what's going on, understand their options as we can. Even if that costs a little bit of money.
I think we need to bend over backwards to make sure that we go to the farthest extremes we can to make sure that there's a potential involvement of anybody in this community. And I agree with you, absolutely, you know. And we did the standard rates or something too. We did the cheapest. Bulk.
What it costs.
Doesn't happen a whole bunch of times a year.
Total number for mailing.
But I think once again, for the same reasons, we do that communication more and more. Because you can't count that everybody's going to read the website or the postcard when it comes. But I think we've got to try.
I think it's been no less rigorous in trying to select a replacement candidate than we are for an annual meeting election.
Exactly.
Absolutely, to the same degree.
No less rigorous, I think. And yes, you're right, it does cost money. Any other opinions on that? Go the extra mile?
I was kind of against the mailing, but the postcard, if it's not expensive, I guess.
Well, it's less expensive.
It's less expensive. What's cost for postcard? Is 25 cents?
Well, we bulk mailed it, I don't know how it broke out. Some were sent first class, some were sent bulk, and they were mailed out by the printer, so I don't have the final numbers.
It's 21 cents bulk.
Yeah, that's right.
21 cents
34
plus
cents
whatever the
first class.
printer charges is.
Yeah.
I still believe it's an unnecessary expense, and for that reason, I cannot make the vote unanimous for this policy and procedure.
Any further discussion on it? It may not be perfect, but it's had an awful lot of time. I think Dave and I must have gone through 20 iterations of this to get something that worked. And it was it doesn't seem complicated, but it was very difficult to get something to work in all cases, of all cases of candidates, all cases of openings. I think because of that, it's a workable document because we did it so many times between the two of us. It's important that we go into the election a month from now, next board meeting, with a policy which is rock solid. I believe this policy is rock solid. I think it would be a mistake not to have a policy, a resolution, and it would be a mistake to try to rewrite this and get something passed between now and March 27th, I think.
Our next meeting?
So my feeling about this resolution is unless you see something gravely wrong with it, we should pass this as board meeting.
I might be able to add one sentence to clarify what you were going after. This might do it, and we could add this very easily. We say in 4B1, at the conclusion of each vote, the candidate receiving the least number shall be eliminated until the number of remaining candidates equals the number of open positions. Could add a sentence after that that says, however, as soon as a candidate has received a majority vote, that position shall be deemed filled.
That, to me, yeah, I don't see if someone gets a majority. I think going down this road
Yeah.
works. So why would you go further
You could
when
get it on the
somebody
first,
finally
if
gets
you
a
got it on the
majority?
first vote, you're done.
Or the second, or third.
Or second,
But
whatever.
once there's a majority, why would you have to go further? I'm certainly wrong to listen, I just, that's the only piece that didn't make sense, the rest of it made sense to me. Want to draw a board?
Draw it on the board?
I don't think you can, Mike. If you, let's suggest, let's go with the one, that we have one on, because that's what's gonna happen most of the time. So we vote, and if the first time somebody gets 6, why would you go further?
Right,
We don't do that.
right.
First, so now you go to the second, you drop your person out, and now you have 5 people, right?
Right.
So now you vote again. If you don't get a majority, I agree. Then you go to the next one. But as soon as you get to some point that you get a majority vote, why would that ever change if you keep going?
Because if there were still 3 people in the running, 2 people could take away enough votes that only one person, that the one person that was like 1 vote ahead of the other 2 or something.
But in that
So
vote,
why would you take out those 2 people if they each got 3 and somebody else got 5?
5 was not a majority, right?
Right.
Well, you're going down, because that's the way this thing is written, to keep narrowing the field. But once it's narrowed enough that there's a majority, why would you then go further? Because now I've gotten the majority, so I should be elected.
So if it's 5-3-3, you don't think we ought to throw out the 2 3-3s and then have a final vote on that 5 person to see if that 5 person
Not
has
if-
6 votes?
Not if 5 is the
Not at 5,
majority.
it's 6, you're saying?
No,
I
because
know, I'm
there's
saying you have another
47
vote, just to see if that person picks up.
Actually, for that one that got 5, if you look at it that way.
See
You
that?
had 4 people who didn't vote for the person that got 5. Now, you got 1 person, it just seems to me wrong to get rid of 2 people in a situation like that. When if you had 2 of them left, then somebody else might win. But I don't think we're ever gonna get to that situation, it's very hypothetical.
Yeah.
I submit that we spend less time with the multiple balloting than we're spending right now talking about not doing it.
Yeah, that is certainly true.
You're looking at me, Wayne.
Well, you're the one that brought this back up again, I think.
Want it back up again? I like what Dave threw in.
Let me read it again, I changed one word. However, as soon as a candidate has received the required votes, because we've already said what those are, that position shall be deemed filled, or the position shall be deemed filled. How's that?
Required votes meaning majority?
Yeah, because we've already defined that elsewhere. A majority of the board members, not the majority of who's there.